Hello and welcome to MFL with Laird. I am Andrew Laird, here today to talk about the most important thing on MFL. Some of you in the live chat have already figured out what it is. Maybe I even said it in the description. I can't even remember. But the more I play this game, the more I realize there really is just a single thing that makes it all work. And it's brilliant. And I just it's one of those things that you appreciate. And then when I really started to think of it, it was just like, man, this is incredible. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I feel bad because whoever was first, and I almost took a screenshot of it yesterday when I posted the stream, and I didn't because, and I really don't remember who it was, and I feel bad. I feel like it was one of the regulars here. I don't know if it was like Dobbsy or Hoodwink or someone, but they were first in the live chat, and I apparently had basic moderation on the live chat set, which is weird because I almost never do, and it disappeared. And Fabmiz must have seen it because Fabmiz, who is now first in the live chat for me, says I second this, but I don't know who the first one was. Fabmiz, if you remember, I would love to know. And you came in like 6 hours early to do it. Andy Harrogate, what's up? I saw you in the When Dirkcast live stream. I think it was yesterday or the day before or an earlier one this week. I don't know. Shout out When Dirk. And Fraxi, Nuno Pinto to the moon. That's it. And we're going to talk about Nuno Pinto today. Barky, what's up? I'm here for the Laird boom to my progression. 1 a.m. my time. This is the MFL commitment that is needed. Barky, I'm pretty sure I have a player, one of your players that got a little bit of progression day. Not an overall, but we'll see. Steve, what's up? It's so important. Yeah. Gian Hui G to the moon. That's from Dobbsy. That's a player that I have on loan from Dobbsy, who, is, we'll look at that because I'm pretty sure G is the only player progressing on that team, and he's not one of mine, but Big Mr. K, what's up? Ricky, thanks for coming in. Lucasade, been a minute. Afternoon from my sunbed in Greece. Wow, that is nice. The bar is loading now. Hello, what an ungodly hour for a stream. Jack, it's obviously early for me. It's like 3 hours earlier than I normally do. And I think part of it is because I'll probably do a Sorare stream later today where I normally do one. And I wanted to get this. I actually wanted to do this yesterday. And I had such a hard time describing what I wanted to talk about. And then all of a sudden it was like, I basically ran out of time to do the stream because I did another Sorare stream yesterday. But I really wanted to get this one, not necessarily right, but we'll see. Steve, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Barky said, Gerber from Liberté, I think. Nothing comes close to my +7 guy, and then he got sent off this morning. Oof. If it makes you feel any better, Barky. Wait, sent off this morning? You already had, or is that yesterday for you? Something like that. Because I have had 2 players this year get red cards in games that they then got a +1 overall after the game. And I was like, oh, man. And that part of that is what started me thinking about this whole progression thing and why it's so great. Danny said, seems like all my progression is going to one player this season, a left back who's gone from 67 to 71 so far. I mean, that's lovely. I mean, obviously, you'd like more progression everywhere. You'd like all your players to go up +4. But, we don't get to determine that. And that's one of the things that I've kind of said about MFL since I started playing. The unknown of everything is just my favorite part of it. And that doesn't mean it's the most important, but is my favorite part of it. But it does play into this kind of like the whole progression thing, which I believe progression is the most important aspect on MFL, and it's not even close. And there's so many reasons for it that we'll get through, that I was actually going to do like a pre-recorded video about this. And I was like, I don't know how long the video will be. Like, it could be just like 5 minutes. And then I was like, I feel like I have a lot more to say. And one of the reasons I don't like doing pre-recorded videos, and I much prefer these live streams, is the live chat. And because it's always like, hey, did you think of this? Or what do you think about this? And it just, I've just come to really love live streaming, which is funny because I used to hate it. Certainly solo live streaming, it was just awful. I don't have to get into that now. Certainly not on an MFL stream. If you are somehow watching this MFL video and have not joined MFL and you'd like to, there's a link in the description. Use that referral link. Gets you a free common player once you spend at least $25 from the store. I will also say you can use anybody's referral link and get that common player. Depending on how many referrals those people may have already, they could get another common player. I do not have that arrangement. I have a different affiliate arrangement with MFL. And so there's that. And if you are already deep into MFL and you just want to support the content more, patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird. We have had a couple people who just play MFL join. It was initially set up for my So Rare channel, but MFL has taken over a lot of us. And so the MFL chat is bumping in our Discord. And obviously it will get you access to the Patron Saints, although we ended up with more people interested in the Patron Saints this season, than spots that we had. We'd like to keep a 20-man roster. And so I've started to debate whether we should do a second Patron Saints team. I don't know if we'll definitely do it, but if there are more people interested in it, then we'll certainly do it. Anyway, so yeah, as little as $5 a month, patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird. So let's see, Sean Kennedy coming in. Ollie Pompey, excited to catch a live stream. Thank you for coming in. Definitely bonus progression in defense when you get smashed 6-0. Yeah, I always like that one. Ricky said that excitement each morning logging in to check progression. It's the first thing I do on my phone when I wake up. I like the degen unknown part of progression as well. I don't know if it's degen-ish, Danny, but I don't know. Speaking of Danny, not this Danny specifically, but I was just a quick tangent here. My youngest daughter's doing a basketball camp this week, and she wanted to write a thank you note to one of the coaches, and his name was Danny. And we found out it spells it Dannie, which I had never heard of. It just blew me away. Anyway, Pico player, what's up? Patron Saints 2.0. I'm all for it. Let's go. Lairdito running it surely. So I don't know if I should speak about this out loud, mostly because I'm just not sure how legal is not the right word, but I considered having Lairdito take over Sarpafasen. At least not like completely take over, because I'm not going to like give him my logins and all this stuff, but like he's 14 years old. So he can't have like his own Dapper account. And I'm fairly certain he's not allowed to play MFL on his own. But we were watching an MFL match the other day. It was actually a Saints match. And he just got really into it. And he started asking me questions about it. And we went through the ratings, and there was he plays foot. And so he was like, oh, it's just like Ultimate Team, like this and this and this. And I was like, yep, there are a lot of similarities to it. And then we were going through the progression. He just was like, it was fun to watch somebody like in person see like the wheels turning of like what MFL is and could be and all this stuff. And so we were talking about different formations and players that fit in these formations. And he was really into it. And I was like, man, Dobbsy said he's the manager, not the owner. Maybe that's the key. But yeah, it's really fun. And it's fun to like, I was actually going to do some content with him. Because he kind of like he's very interested in YouTube content and stuff like that. So maybe that's to come. Maybe he will be my director of Metaverse football, and we go from there. Anyway, so Josh XLs, who I literally like chuckled out loud yesterday. I think it was yesterday when during the When Dirk and Jimbo called you extra large, Josh. For some reason, I just got a real fucking kick out of that. Apologies for swearing, but I literally that's how I described it. Anyway, So progression is super important. And one of the things that made me kind of appreciate progression and how it fits on the platform was one of the instances I was just talking about the other day, that I had a player who got 2 yellows in a match. And let me see if I can pull him up. Because what's funny about it is I actually don't like this player that much as a player. Where is he? Here he is. Larry Fogarty is his name. 6'1" CDM from Ireland, 25 years old. And so he got a red card. And in this game that he got his red card in, or the 2 yellows, he ended up with a +1 overall. And I was like, oh, that's interesting that you can have such a bad game and still get the +1. And it was kind of just a reminder of we don't know when these guys are going to be able to progress. And you always feel like a player has a really good game and you're like, surely they're going to get some progression, and they just don't. And you're just like, oh, okay, maybe next time. And I will add that the reason I'm particularly salty about Larry Fogarty is that he got his red card. He got his 2 yellows, was suspended for a match. And then, as you notice, the literally next match he got another red card. And then another yellow. I didn't even realize this. He's starting to redeem himself. Is that the cup? Oh, no, that was a league match. But it was this match right here against Millers, which I think is actually a fairly decent team. Liberté is not very good in this league, but my God, what is that? 6 yellows in 4 games. But it was just kind of a reminder of, oh, we can get progression even if things don't go our way. And this happened, I believe, on the same day that it was either Empire or maybe it was a Liberté match. Let me see here. Empire had a really bad result. Yeah, so I lost my 2 first cup matches, 10-2 aggregate, and I ended up getting some progression, 2 overall +1s for 2 players during that match or after that match, and it totally changed the way I felt about the game, or at least my experience on MFL. And one of the things that I keep focusing on when it comes to MFL is the fun. Like, I play MFL to have fun, and like, losing is not fun. I'm going to see if this works. I don't know. Losing is obviously not fun, but being able to come out of a loss and see something positive is such a mental and emotional boost that you're just like, oh, wow, okay, I don't feel as bad anymore. And it just continues the fun of it. And so we all kind of talk about progression because it's like a big part of the game. We all love it. Like, we want to like check our progression, and every day you wake up and you're just like, I know some of you have to wake up first and then have to check it later. But the kind of different aspects of why the progression is important in terms of fun is something that I just kind of like overlook. Like, I knew it was fun because I have fun tracking progression. But the fact that progression can be kind of this tool that MFL have, and not to say that they like go out of their way to like say, okay, if they lose this match, they're going to get progression. Like, it doesn't work that way. But the fact that there are these kind of mechanisms in place where positive outcomes can come out of negative situations is huge, particularly for those of you who follow my Sorare content, that there are things in Sorare in the game that ends up leaving kind of a bad taste in your mouth in terms of fun on the platform. And progression on MFL is one of those things that allows you to like gloss over the loss, and not to say you get progression after every loss, but the fact that it's possible is what keeps you constantly enjoying the time that you have on MFL. And so that was one of the first things that I was like, that's really important in terms of like why progression is so important on the platform, in that it's part of the fun and is fun enough on its own. It's literally just numbers going up, but it's fun enough on its own that it can kind of replace the negative feelings that you have about losing. And not to say that you're like angry about losing. I mean, some people are, but we want to win. And if you don't win, you're just like, oh man, and you're like down a little bit. And then if you get some sort of positive progression, you're just like, well, that's great. Because now my player is better for the next game. And that's kind of what I goes into the next part of why I think it's so important. But I'm going to check back here in the live chat. Josh said, firing your own son for underperforming with a virtual football team would make worldwide news. Or his son calling out the owner for not financially backing the club. That would be so funny. Maybe that's the drama we need on MFL. Rob, what's up? Bit late to the stream, but good afternoon, morning for you. It is morning for me. Been a mixed season for myself so far, having to sacrifice games to keep them fresh for teams around my level. That's one of my favorite parts of the game, is figuring that out. It's a little bit of a puzzle. Larry Fogarty's an animal. He is. Bob Probert, I don't know who that is, but that doesn't mean anything. Toby, what's up? Speaking of patron saints. So the other really important thing that I completely underestimated with progression, and I'm not saying I like discovered this. Obviously, I'm sure there are plenty of people who talk about this all the time, maybe. But I had initially wanted to call progression like the great equalizer in the game, which is really not true, because it doesn't actually end up being like equal. But the wonderful thing about the way the progression works, and I know that obviously there are plenty of people who play this game who are not competing to win titles every year. Like you're not going to have 12 teams all competing for a title. I mean, technically they are, but like you're not going to have a league that's like so tight that, and like even in Diamond, it doesn't happen. Like the bottom of the Diamond has no chance. And maybe that changes over time. I don't know. But one of the great things about about progression on MFL is there isn't this like essentially like a forced need to go buy new players every year. Now, if your team is very bad and you want them to be much better quickly, then yes, you need to go buy players. But the fact that there is this in-game mechanism that allows your players to improve on their own is wonderful. And particularly great in that, while yes, we don't know that they will progress. I mean, we know they'll progress +1 over the course of their career, which we can all agree would be a gigantic disappointment if you had a bunch of players that only progress +1 in their whole career. But the fact that it's unknown keeps the, as Rob said, keeps the what if or the hope alive. But also that we do know that there are things that we can do within the game that will accentuate a player's progression if they have that hidden potential in them. Meaning, if you don't play, a bunch of 80 level players in Spark because you know that their competition is going to be really bad, and so they won't progress from there. They'll get good match ratings, sure, but like that probably doesn't overcome the fact that they are just well overmatched, so they won't progress as well. Or if you have a couple of high 70s players and then everyone else in the 50s, those guys will help the bottom players, but certainly they will not progress. And so that there are different ways that you can manipulate your team in the league that you're in order to maximize the progression that these players theoretically, or that they have. We just don't know what it is. And so and it's probably, I don't want to say it's bad for their business model, because I don't think it actually is, for a number of different reasons. But there is something inherently incredible that you can join this game and get a group of players and know that they will improve over time. Like the odds that you get a team, buy a club, fill it with players, and they never progress more than +1 over their whole career is close to 0. And so the fact that just by playing, you become more competitive over time because of progression. Now you can say like, well, everybody gets this, so it's not like it's It's not like you're going to be able to grow faster than everyone or guarantee yourself that you grow faster than everyone else, which is partially true. You can still, like I said, if you set up so everybody's overall ratings are within, you know, 8 points, I think is the number for the top 16. Like, that gives them the ideal way to progress. And if you're not necessarily dominating your league, you'll have good match ratings while also being able to have good match opponents that help those match ratings. And it's just the fact that you can continue to play by, excuse me, you can continue to improve just by playing is phenomenal. And it allows teams, the ones that are very good get promoted. And then now you're getting kind of the bottom teams from the division above you that maybe they were so bad that you're now competitive against these teams. And your natural progression is actually making you more and more competitive every season. And like I said, the fact that in order to see some progress, you don't have to just go out and buy players or loan in, try beg people for loans or get these absurd rev shares. Like there are ways in the game that allow you to become more competitive without spending more money. And again, like, I don't know if MFL is there. Like, could you not like tell everyone that we want them to buy players? But it doesn't feel like they necessarily are pushing you in that direction. And if anything, they're pushing you to the secondary market where they don't make nearly as much. But the thing that works in their favor tremendously, and it's because of what they've built, is that so many people really love the game. And they love that you can buy players once and see them progress. And you're like, this is really fun with this team. I wonder if two teams would be fun. And guess what? It is. There was somebody that I helped sign up relatively recently. This is their first season. And we message about it, how they're doing and whatnot. And his comment the other day was, I think I need a second team. And it wasn't so much like it's like I don't have enough to do, but it was like, I want to do more of this. And obviously I have 5 clubs, so like I get it. But there is that of this game is really fun, and really the way to increase your fun in the game is to get more teams. And at some point there's a level where it's just not fun. That level is different for everybody else. Similarly, the progression is different for everybody. Some people are very content with 2 teams, some like 5, some like 76. It's just however much fun you want to have. Rob said, we all know somebody in the game who has insane progression. So the more players we own, the more chance we have one of them. That's a great line too. That's a really good point. And that's one of the things that I brought up with Trust the Process last week. I think that was last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. It's just like when you have so many players, do you just like see progression? I mean, I guess we could just see it. Like how many, let's see how many players Trust has had get positive progression in the last 24 hours. Like he's got so many players that it takes so long to, let's see. I didn't even look at the, come on. Sorry, I guess I could just catch up on the Jacob. What's up? Thanks for coming in. Oh, there we go. So yeah, progression, and I won't even do, currency. Wow, that guy's +6. 4 hours. Let's do 8 hours just to make sure I get all the. So he's at 1,513 players, and like these are all the +1s that he got today. I feel like I would have expected more. Actually, it's mostly lower level players. Oh, never mind. Oh, got a tier breaker coming up. Wow. I couldn't have picked a worse player to who's, I mean, it's like Richard Zajkowski. Ryjard Zajkowski. Man. So yeah, it's like even Trust will go in and be like, I wonder if this is like a disappointing day of progression, or he just like is happy for all of them. Oh, here's a tier breaker. There we go. Tommy Richardson. Wow. Is that a shadow? Oh yeah, it is. I thought this was part of his facial hair, but no, it's just a shadow from the collar. Wow. 5'10". But anyway, so there's a tier breaker. GG's. Here's another one. Gainer Huertas from Costa Rica. That's a weird Gainer. It's not very Hispanic. Anyway. And so like there's there's a ton of I don't know why I brought trust up, other than just like, oh, there's so many players that can progress. And so yeah, like I logged in today to check my progression. I've actually started doing it by club because I have a few players on loan. But today I don't think I actually complained in the Patreon Discord that I got very little progression today. But like Jonathan Sharp, who like continues to grow, and it's a left wing back who I never play at left wing back. Ian Lyons got a physical. There was one player, where was it? This guy, Sikara, 67 pace center back. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, I guess that's fine. And then, oh, Grecian, I didn't see this. Franjic got a shooting. So Grecian's in the development center. Lopez finally. Okay. Let me show you why I'm saying finally. So I have two players in the dev center. This guy here, Ravo Grecian, who has been finally progressing this season, and Jean-Paul Lopez, who has not. This is a right back with 22 passing. I've described Lopez here as the worst player on MFL, and I did that because all time we just witnessed together his first positive progression ever, and he's been in the dev center for 2.5 seasons. And today was the first time he ever got a +1 in anything. Whereas Grecian here, +1 overall this year, but has all of these underlying stats. That's actually a shocking number of underlying improvements to only have a +1 overall. But he is +5 since he got in. So it's like two, went in at 41 and is now at 46. Anyway, Josh said there was a Sorare stream you did that was titled "There Has to Be Losers" or something like that. People need that mindset way more in MFL, I think. Losing matches does not mean losing at the game. It's funny because those are two totally different things. The Sorare losers, that sounds so bad now that I said it out loud, but people who lose on Sorare are way different than people who lose on MFL. And part of it is just the way that the games are set up, that the like monetarily, it's almost like harder to see if you're monetarily losing on MFL. And I think one of the reasons for that is because the game's not set up for that reason. I don't know if they built it this way on purpose. I think they did, but I don't know for sure. I feel like Matt would say this, but it feels like MFL was built for fun. And I'm not sure Sorare was necessarily built for that. I think it was built to like make money, and the platforms feel that way. That I feel like people look at Sorare way too much as an investment. And I think they look at it that way because they're like, oh, I can make money doing it. And MFL, I feel like people look at it as money spend. And like, obviously you can make money playing MFL, but like, I don't play for that reason. I've never sold a player. The only transaction I've ever done like that was a 4-player for 1-player trade with Trust the Process. But like every player I have in my agency is from a pack or a referral reward. Like I don't. And so like, I think just that the whole like losing in MFL is just like, you're just extending the time before you're winning, I guess. I don't even know if that's even really the case, but I think the losing on each platform is very different. And mostly because I feel like MFL is presented very much as just like a game, and everybody loses at games. Rob said the new MFL base feature is amazing to see what training penalties each player will get for each game against the best possible team they can field. Yeah, so like that's one of those things that I'm sure is like I haven't used this tool, but again, it's one of those things that you can optimize your teams and your lineups all you want. You can't decide your opponents, and you have no control over the progression that they will have over the course of their career. So it's one of those things that like, yes, we could do our best to optimize it. And I assume that's what that feature is for. And I know Josh built a spreadsheet. Nep used it on one of his streams showing like what the ideal training environments are and stuff like this based on your team. But there's no way for us to even know if we're doing it correctly or not. Like we could theoretically go back and be like, oh, I can make sure I can doing each of these steps one by one, but we don't know if our positive progression is coming because of what we're doing or it just was like going to happen anyway. And that's not to say like you shouldn't progress, you shouldn't like kind of do things in order to maximize the progression, but we just don't know. And so like if that's how you want to spend your time, like that's great. Similarly, like what I was doing with tactics, and I did that show about tactics that I felt like everybody kind of was like misunderstood what I was trying to say, because everybody was like, well, tactics are of course important. And I was like, I'm not saying they were not important, unimportant. But what I was saying is I think the way that people work on tactics may not be optimal, but it might be the only way we have. But I was like trying to work heavily on opponent strengths early in the season and like figuring out like where the best ways to attack teams were. And then I stopped doing it and started having much more success. And that's maybe I was just doing it wrong. That's certainly possible. But I think I think we put a lot of emphasis on things that, if we're consciously doing something and then see a positive result, we're always like, oh man, it's because of what I'm doing. And maybe it is, but also maybe it's not. Dobsy said, last season I was predicted 11th in my Spark League and got 7th, spent maybe $12 this season, and I'm currently 3rd while being predicted 8th. Dobsy, I love that. Love that. I actually meant to look at that because I feel like Sarpafossen is outperforming this season, but maybe not. Where are we? 7th out of 11. 7th out of 11. Let's see where I was actually. Because Sarpafossen is quite poor in terms of rating. This is where I see that I'm literally projected for 7th. Okay. So I was the second worst team according to all the projections, I guess. And I'm 7th. And I feel like we've been overperforming. And part of it, part of it, I think, is that I've gotten some pretty good progression this season. Yeah, like 2 + 2s. There's G. Dobsy, just absolutely flying. My Fomenko here, this guy, I tell you, like, it's one of those things that you just wish he wasn't 30 already. Is he 30? Yeah. Just knowing that thing can come at any time. And then like all of these guys and like Amador, this is a great one, is my backup goalie, 42 rated, has had 1 start this year. So actually I would love to hear what everybody thinks about this. I'm sorry, 2 starts this season. After this 1 start, he got a +1. And I was like, oh man, am I like sitting on a guy? How old is he? 24. Am I sitting on a goalie who could be so much better? All he had to do was play 1 match and he gets a +1. But he's not good enough to play. But anyway, like I've gotten like some decent progression. And this is one of those things that like when the preseason projections don't account for this, they don't know what the potential or what the progression is for these players. Let's see here. So yeah, Fomenko, this is all time, but it's only 2 full seasons for me. Well, 2.5 seasons, I guess. Well, not even a half season, 2 seasons and 3 or 6 Redemption Cup matches. But Fomenko, yeah, like started as a 44 and is now a 51. Laird here is a +4. He's always been on this team. And yeah, like this season, my team is much more competitive. Like these are players that I rely on, were either high 40s, mid to high 40s to low 50s, and are now getting better. And, Franjic here has had a couple +1s. Hopefully he moves soon. Not much for the rest of these guys, but it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, wow. But like my team, is this the league with, no, it's not. Like this team was really bad last year. We finished 11th I think there were 12 for some reason, I thought. Yeah, we were 11th out of 12 last year. Like really, really bad. -65 goal differential. I had 9 points all season. And now, obviously, leagues change over time, but like I've had 7 points through 7 games. It's not great. It's also my -4 goal differential is a lot better than -65 or whatever that was. And I think a lot of it, like most of these players are the same players from last year because this is my lowest team. So I put all my lowest rated guys here and I end up starting left backs and right backs that are 40 something rated. And then I got G in because Dobbsy needed somewhere for him to play. Sean sent me this guy. I think I just took these guys because somebody's like, does anybody have a place for these guys to play this year? And I was like, yeah, I have a terrible team. Bring them in. And let's see, I lost. Where are we in the cup? A win and 2 draws in the cup. Yeah, look at that. Second in the cup. Andrada here is on 3 goals already. I don't know if I have anyone here. No. And the goalie, nobody. But it's like, again, very little has changed. And obviously other teams in the league can change. But predicted, and you can also point out like, hey, man, like you're 2 points out of 10th where you were projected. But like, hey, I'm not in 10th. Anyway. Alex, thanks for coming in. Josh said, oh, I didn't mean monetarily either. You're right. They're 2 very different things. That was so rare in MFL. It's more the phrase that I was applying than the meaning behind it. Okay. Toby said, I only focus on my own team when I set tactics and the way I want to play them. How's the cup going for you? Big games today? Cup hasn't been great. My top progressor this season already announced his retirement. Oh, no. Dobbsy has never had a single goalie progress, and he's upset about it. Toby said, I hate that keepers don't have underlying stats. It makes the whole progression thing feel so random in a bad way when you can't see the steady movement. One thing I feel like they should have is, and maybe I'm like overthinking it, but it was my understanding that a player recovers their fatigue faster if they have a higher physical. And if that's the case, I feel like physical should be a goalkeeper stat. So we know like how often they would have to be rotated. But I don't know. So if you look at these, I can't take credit for all of these. Strauss and Laird I got from Trust the Process. And oh, that reminds me. I faced a Laird in a match the other day, and I literally tried to make an offer for them during the match. But anyway, but these other guys were all mine. Bettshirt, Hawkins, and Amador. Amador's a +2. And then I don't know if they all have a +1 this season. Forte I got just before the season started in a reward pack. And Fitzgerald, I might have gotten him too. Oh, maybe not. I mean, he's terrible. Although he might have had performance. Although this is probably not going to show. Yeah, Fitzgerald's actually been one of my higher rated players when he sporadically starts for Liberté. But anyway, I agree that I wish we had a little more on goalies. What are the real odds of managing to buy 2 of the $4.99 packs during the drop? So I know if I should add the 10 or not. I think they're okay. I think they have more of those than anything else. No, it is the store. Like the kickoff packs, is that what they call them? Yeah, I think you should be able to get 2 of them. Topsy said, not sure the odds, to be fair, as each drop has been different, but putting the money into Dapper first definitely makes it quicker. Also, the $4.99 packs are the best value, in my opinion. I agree on putting money in your wallet first. Toby said, Sarpafasen are competitive, which is all you can want from the Common Academy team. Totally. Trust the Process as a guy called Vidic, who is maybe the player I'm most envious of in the entire game. Let's check him out. Vidic. So 90 rated, started as a 62 at 23 years old. Man, that's amazing. What is he, a center back? Yeah. Look at that. Would benefit from stronger opposition. So he plays for Zaragoza Crown in silver. How good is this team? Oh, pretty good. Very good. Yeah, that's a cool one. I mean, this is what we want. This is exactly what we want. Yeah, that's cool. Toby said reflexes, handling, both hands and feet can be included, aerial play and physical. Yeah, that's a good point. Easy. Domiclick said, I just started watching. If you pull my comment up, I will see it in 34 minutes. Hopefully all is well. Thanks, Dom. You could always 1.5x it. I feel like I don't speak that quickly, but I don't know. Matthias said, the 499 looks nice. I currently own 5 players. Want to get 2 of those to get to 9 and hopefully make enough MFL to buy 2 more from the store, at least a full team of first owned players. Matthias, what team is yours? Let's look at it. In 3 seasons, he went from 62 to 90. Yeah. And this is it. Player like that gives us all FOMO and hope. Shout out Domen Vidic from Croatia. Oh, Slovenia, excuse me. Oh, yeah, I guess so. 94 defending and 94 physical. Jeez. How much has he done this year? Just this season, +6. Because he has a +10 in defending. So, like, that's literally right there. That Trust went into this season with an 84 rated center back with 84 defending. And within a week or 8 days, he's now has a 90 rated center back with 94 defending. Player that really gives me hope is Thomas Zarita. Is that his player or is your player? Josh. Rob said +6 is my best progression in a whole season. He has done it in just over a week. I guess I could just, let's see. Open to offers should give us everybody, right? Zarita. This guy. And then kicks and dribbles owns him. There we go. Wow. Okay, so started at 52 4 seasons ago. 1, 2, yeah. Well, yeah. And when did he just like barely play? And then, yeah, that's wonderful. And so you have too many, where was he? Zarita. So, and it's a +4 this season. So yeah, same thing. He came in, he's like, all right, I have this 70 rated striker. That's pretty good. With 73 shooting, 74 pace, and then all of a sudden, 74. Oh, Jack. You are kicks and dribbles, I guess. Yeah, he didn't play for 3 seasons before me. I was blessed. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. I had him on loan last season. Okay. So you are not kicks and dribbles. This is what makes MFL brilliant. Exactly this. Oh, maybe I'm not that competitive this season in my league. Oh, all of a sudden my striker gets a +6 in a week. Now I'm scoring goals for fun. My Gerd Maurer is on the road to Vidic. We'll be the judge of that. What was his name? Maurer. Shout out Joe Maurer. Gerd. Yeah, that'll work. 62 to 71 in a couple seasons. 68 to 71 just this season. Love it. Love it. Sorry. Matthias is the Nordic Trailblazers. Let's all see how he's doing. Clubs. Trailblazers. 2 words maybe? Oh, no. Hold on. It's owner. Let's see how we get along here, Matthias. Where are you? All right. So first season, joined way too late, underestimated the strength of the league. In fairness, you didn't, if this is your first league, you don't know the strength of it. But let's see what you got here. Firstly, if we could remove the background here, that would be great. But you probably then have to make all of this white. Now I don't know how I feel about it. Even if it was just a circle, I feel like it would be better. Anyway, let's see what kind of progression we have this year. Oh, you got a tier breaker. Dante Ochoa. Big blue eyes. Love a good tier breaker. Oh, there we go. There we go. $1. That's, I love that. Oh, Ronan bought him for $1. You got some absolute all-stars here. Ronan, I think I saw Calva. Yeah, there you go. Noisy Steve, Swab. I love this. Like how this is great. This is why it's so great to be able to play MFL like this. Jack said that guy before went up +3 in a day last week. That's amazing. With me last season, he took like a week to tier break. Ricky said, as a Spark manager, having just one player that progresses like that can be loaned out can be huge in terms of bringing in MFL. Totally. One of the things that like I keep going back to that a lot of people don't, I feel like people have a very like firm position on if they buy players from the secondary market, they're like, I want to get people who've shown that they have progression as if like it'll continue that way. Or they're like, I want people who've never progressed because like surely they'll progress with me. So it's kind of weird like that. Top scorer is actually one of my players that only plays for rotation, 4 goals already. Well, let's get him in more. Walter Francashini. What's funny, so I'm glad we brought him up because it actually reminds me of one player that I have in my own gallery that I wanted, or agency, excuse me, that I wanted to talk about. And he's quickly becoming my favorite player. Where is he? What's going on here? Where is Pierce Flynn? Here he is. That's weird. Why wasn't he showing up? Oh, I don't know what order this is in. I thought it was in, here we go. So Pierce Flynn is a 22-year-old striker that I have, 85 pace, and now 67 shooting. And I bring him up because he doesn't progress at all. Let me see if like all time. Well, let's do this season. This season, he has a +1 in shooting and a +1 in physical. And all time, he has a +1 in shooting and a +2 in physical. That's it. Has not gotten any better at all. And what's funny is that it almost frustrates me a little bit because he's so good. He played 9 matches. So I joined mid-season of season 4 and played the Redemption Cup. And I had him out on loan to Incheon S9. He had 11 goals and 2 assists in 9 games. And I was like, man, that's really great. And they wanted to get him back on loan for season 5. And I was like, I think I actually am going to play him. And I played him on Empire, and I had higher rated strikers on Empire, including Nino Pinto and Ian Lyons. And there was another guy I got from Trust. Maybe not. And I was like, he's just not that good. He's not rated high enough to start over those other guys. So what does he do? 16 goals and 2 assists in 14 games. 9 goals and 2 assists in 9 league games, and then 7 goals in 5 cup matches. And I was like, man, This guy's destined for greatness. This season, he goes on Empire because I moved Lions and some other guys up to Nonagon. And yeah, 8 goals and 4 assists. I apparently have not played him in the cup at all. Empire's gotten destroyed in the cup anyway, maybe because he's not playing. But 8 goals and 4 assists in 6 games. And I'm like, this guy is great. And it's one of these that, like, why doesn't he progress? 8.31 rating over the last 5 games, thriving in training. Apparently could benefit from better opposition, which is a bit weird because it's not like Empire are like great in this league. And I bring this league up because specifically this Nîmes Romans from Sean Thorpe, who Sean finished 3rd in this league last year, and we played in the playoff because I finished 2nd, and the top team obviously promoted. And he was like, I think I'm just going to give up on this team. I can't remember if he was giving up on the team or MFL. And he decided to keep the team. And as he described to me the other day, really didn't do much at all. He has another team that is in ice, I think, and brought a lot of players there. But like most of this team is the same from last year. And he is absolutely destroying this league, all because of, I think, progression. Let's see. Progression, current season. Yeah, like 6 players already on +1s. Again, in a week. He's got a guy ready to tier break. These guys were already at 65. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a very good Spark team. Like, this guy surely should go. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I really didn't do much. My guys just like kind of progressed well. And it's like, I love it. I absolutely love it. But it's funny. So the Pierce Flynn thing, like, he's doing so well and not progressing. And I'm like, well, which one would you rather have? And obviously the answer is both. I want both. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Flynn's young. He has time to start progressing. His peak age could be at 28 or something. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 16 and 14 is rookie numbers. Check out my man, Shingo Koken. Last season, he was an absolute freak, struggling a bit in iron this year. All right, let's find Shingo Koken. Here we go. Name. Where's good old Shinjo Koken? Another thank you again for everybody joining live. And for those watching back, thank you for doing so. If you could please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think the next number I'm trying to get to is 500. And so would love it if we could get there. Oh, wait, I don't want this. Oh, yeah. Yes, retry, please. Anyway, yeah, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the content even further, patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird. It's down there at the bottom of the screen. And this seems to not want me to. Rob, are you just Rob C3107 on the game? Yes, you are. Let's go. All right. Let's find this Shinjo Koken guy. There he is. Last season, he was an absolute freak. Let's see. What did he do last season? 33 goals and 6 assists in 19 league games. I'm sorry. Overall, 32 goals, 5 assists. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What's his all-time progression look? Oh, actually, wasn't that great, right? Just a +3. Jeez, look at that. And yeah, not much this season. Nice player though, Rob. I think he's quite underrated based on stats. Basically tell him no to dribble and he looks good. Is that back to Flynn? Is that who we were talking about? I thought his dribbling wasn't bad. But literally all of his goals Oh, dribbling 49. You're right. All of his goals are just outrunning people. It's great. Like they're just such classic. I'm faster than you goals. Let's see his last one here. Got plenty to choose from. Let's do this one. 3-1 against Furio Rasta. I don't know why I decided to go this way. Let's see these Pierce Flynn goals. This will run. Oh, that's just a tap in. You have this other guy who is quite fast as well. Wild. The two of them together was fun. All right, let's see what this one was. Moya, Flynn, Wild. You see, just really good at making. I really thought there was one that he just burned everyone. There he is, number 9, getting ready. Here it is. Yep, just beat everyone. Oh, do you think you're faster than me? You're not. Like, just watch him. Here he comes. Here's number 9 right here. Like, how much of a lead did 3 have on there? I wonder what his pace is. 66 pace. Like, he smoked a 66 pace center back right there. Like, let's see where they start. I couldn't. Hold on. I'm not very good at. We'll just go half speed so that, well, we don't need to go half speed yet. But let's see. The ball comes out right there. So he's here. Guy, what is that? 2 yards ahead? And Flynn beats him to the ball by what? 2 more yards? Maybe. Oh, I guess he's on his back. Either way, speed kills. Let's go. Jack said, my favorite player is a guy I bought for $2. He's Senegalese, plays for my Senegalese team, and scored the winner in my cup final last year. Hail Amade Bajinka. Love that. Absolutely love that. Also, can we talk about how Jack Rout is a great name? Luca Careva. Let's find Mr. Careva. Luca Careva. Love it. Love it, Danny. Stellar lately. Let's see how stellar. Oh, my word. 2 goals, 2 goals, 4 goals, 2 goals. Is this, what league is this in? Ice? Wow. Of course, you're top of the league. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, I keep making myself bigger for some reason. And no progression this season? Man, he's Flynn. Just dominating and no progression. My Eder Pasquale is doing great progression. Hopefully keeps going. Let's find him. Eder Pasquale. Ooh, that's what we like to see. That is lovely. Mr. Wobbles of Wobbles FC, way to go. He's the MFL Ibra. He just scores the most insane goals. Why do I feel like Saints are out for revenge tonight? Because they are, extra large Josh. We're coming for you. I feel like the calculation for overall on a striker could do with valuing pace higher. So I agree with you, but I only agree with you because it feels like pace is really important, as you saw with that Flynn goal. Dobsy said pace and physical seem not to have a massive impact on rating, so picking up undervalued players who have high stats in them can be good if they progress. Yeah. Pace merchant. Yeah, I agree. Like, and maybe I'm just kind of biased from Flynn, although I do have my other striker on Empire is quite fast as well. Pace is definitely more important this season than last. I mean, I guess. But like my two strikers have 85 and 83 pace, which you could see if I actually just made this bigger. Like Flynn and Wild right here. Like 60 rated Flynn is 85, 61 rated Wild is 83. And I'm pretty sure Wild has 4 goals and an assist in 7 games, which is pretty good. I have a 90 physical CM. He dominates. Yeah, that's a good one. Can you remember how many goals Karafev got in Spark last season? He carried it on ice, which is a funnier joke if you're watching this instead of listening. He's a bit like Flynn by the looks of it. I mean, he's significantly better than Flynn by the looks of it. Let's see what he did last year. That seems, yeah. Karava. Which one was he again? No. Luka. Let's see what Luka did last year. 43 goals and 8 assists in 20 games. 37 and 5 in his 37 goals in 14 league games. Now, again, a 60, well, maybe he wasn't 69, but like, well, actually, he's never progressed. 69 striker in Spark with 90 pace. My God. 90 pace. My striker is just a dribble merchant, had 37 successful dribbles in a game. That's crazy. Lucas A said, Laird, I packed an 86 legendary in a limited pack. Take a look at my agency. What you reckon to do with him? I mean, what I would do with him and what everyone else would do with him is very different. And I say that because Luke Cozy. I say that because I just don't play the game optimally. But you've got Zenon Melishewski, 24-year-old center back, 92. Jeez, that is amazing. And he's on Sheffield Mustangs right now, who are in gold. And let's see, what kind of deal do you have with him? I think what you're doing is exactly what I would have done. What was his name? Oh, right. Malins, whatever. So you have him at 8%. Wow. Okay. So you have 8% in gold. And they're currently in second. I don't know what second in gold gets. So you get 8% of 100. Oh my God, 165,000. So I would do exactly what you're doing. I would just loan him out for the rest of time and just bank the MFL. That's what I do with my Stuart Freeman card, which is the highest rated card I have. And Freeman, I think I got from like the referral. Yeah, my 20 referrals, I got Freeman. And he's gone up from 79 to 82. Hendricks, who I got at 5, has not progressed at all. But Freeman, I just loan out year after year. And, you know, I end up getting more MFL from loaning Freeman out than playing everything else. Benito, hello. Question for me is, are you patient or not? If you are patient, then I would loan him out to get the most MFL I possibly can each season. If you're not, then sell. Yeah. So like, the reason why I was like, I would keep loaning him out is because that's the way that I play the game. I'm not looking to like make as much money as possible. And yes, I could probably sell Freeman and make back a lot of the money that I put in. Like I've gotten a lot of like referral rewards and stuff like that. And thank you to everybody who uses my code. But I've also bought a bunch of clubs. I bought a bunch of packs. Like, it's not like I have no money in here, but the money I spent was money that I spent to play the game. And so I'm not necessarily looking to like get all my money back to then, I guess, buy more packs or whatever it is. So the way that I would play is that I really like the idea of him just churning MFL for you. And while I understand it's not as fun to have players in your agency that like never play for your teams, but winning MFL is also quite fun. Like like looking back. So I finished second. Empire finished second last year. In the league, and I won. What did I win? Second place in Spark is 2,000 MFL, and Freeman himself won 2,300 from being 5% in the first place bronze team. And then I got an additional 2,200 because they were runners up in the cup. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's what I spent, right? Obviously. And then I made 1,000 in the cup from Empire and 2,000 just from Freeman. One of my players was from the welcome pack was 54 that should break the tier until next season, but he's already 29. Maybe he's worth a bit. Would you recommend selling him and using the money to get more players? No, I wouldn't recommend that. It's more fun to make a bunch of MFL. That's what it is. And like, if you want to make money, win MFL, get the reward packs and sell those. I would view him as X amount of free limited reward players every season to restock my agency. Another way to do it. As he's 24, I just churn like 3 to 5 seasons of MFL out of him and then maybe sell him on. Yeah. Or maybe you're so good at this game and you have the ultimate progression teams that you have enough players and you're like, maybe I'll just get a gold team and play him there. Because we never know. We never know. But ultimately, that's the most important thing. Progression. It leads to just so much on this game in so many ways that there is nothing more valuable on this incredible platform. And that's what we had today. I have to take off, but this was a lot of fun. We should do this more often. I always feel a little weird. Not that I'm like stepping on when Dirk has toes about the live streaming, since I don't stream at the same time, and Jimbo streams are very different than this. But I know we're not at a point of MFL content overload yet, but we'll just see how we keep going. Sorry, Toby brought up Engelhart, and so I have to bring him up. I don't think he's progressed at all this season, to be honest, but I kind of knew that was going to happen. Like, I'm not sure. Yeah, like Nonagon are pretty good for the league. And so opponent-wise, he's not getting that. That's not the optimal thing. Has he progressed at all? Like, I haven't gotten where was he? Here he is. He's gotten a +2 in shooting, which like shooting was actually his like low thing. I mean, obviously 52 physical is not great, but he's like got good pace, good dribbling, good passing, and his shooting's not great, but it's improving. So that's good. And then, so actually, sorry, one more thing. I said I was going to, sorry. Nuno Pinto, thank you for whoever brought him up earlier. So going into this season, can I do that? No, I can't. He was my lowest rated striker. So I had this Gerard Hendricks, who you just saw. He was my 5th reward or 5th referral reward. And he was a 67 rated. As you can see, he did not progress at all last year. He's a +1. Oh, I guess I got him at 66. He got a +1 in dribbling at some point. Not for me, because this is the first year I've had him. But that's it. He's not really growing. What is he? No, he's only 24. But I got Ian Lyons in that deal from Trust, and he's got a +4, but I don't think, or maybe one of those points was with me. Maybe not. I don't think he's ever progressed with me. But anyway, I was going to play Hendricks and Lions all season. But Pinto was like, nah, I'm going to play my way into it. So he's a +2 already this year, 74 dribbling, now 64 shooting. And I believe he leads the team in goals. Oh, he only has 3. I take it back. But 3 in 5 games, whereas Lions been struggling. And so I actually play Pinto over Lions. And I feel like my team is now more competitive because of Pinto's growth this season. He's the only one who's +2. This Hagelin guy, like as you can see here, I have all of these guys who have progressed except Hagelin is Jimbo's player, Ryu is Jack Daniels's, and Lesage is Jack's. And so I'm just like, all right, well, I'm happy for you guys with like the mask thing on. Mancia has also been fun. I think Mancia was another one from Trust. I don't think it'll show up here. Yeah, but he was one from Trust, but he's like growing with like ahead now, which has been a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thank you for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. Let me see how many people we have subscribed to the channel. MFL with Laird on YouTube. If you were watching this and you didn't come, it was just kind of suggested to you and you're like, I wonder what the channel is. It's literally youtube.com/@MFL with Laird, or just search MFL with Laird and it'll show up. 449 subscribers. Would love to get to 500 and then, 10,000. And then, of course, if you want to get in on the Patron Saints, or at least just want to get in on more people talking about MFL on Discord, patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird gets you in there as little as $5 a month to support all of the content. And yeah, there's that. So yeah, thank you, everybody. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And please make sure you get outside.